Now, I hear today is going to be a critical day. Can you tell us all about that? With the winds coming in?
Yeah, so actually it started really yesterday with the relative humidities got down into the single digits yesterday afternoon. Things really dried out. And overnight they didn't recover. They didn't come back up very high. This morning we were sitting about 20 to 30% relative humidity on the slopes where that fire is burning. So we kind of have an early start to the day fire-wise. Now, about 11 o'clock, 11 to noon, we're really going to start to see the winds up there start to pick up, increase. And so we have a red flag warning out for that.
Okay.
And that red flag warning is because of the combination of low relative humidity and high winds. And that's, that's a bad combination when you have fire on the landscape.
Well, this morning I was up at 3 o'clock and it was very smoky. Now, when you go to bed at night, there's no smoke. So what brings this smoke up at 3 in the morning? And like right now, before I left my house, my air purifier was at 120. When I went to bed last night, it was only at 12. So, I mean, that smoke is just coming in during the night. Why is that? Is it because of the moisture or the
So at nighttime, things cool off from the ground up, right?
Okay. Yeah.
So the ground cools off, and that cools the ground, or excuse me, that cools the air next to the ground, and that's creates something that we call a temperature inversion. So when you light a fire, or if you have a fire burning in your fireplace, smoke comes out your chimney, it goes up. Whether or not it keeps going up or it spreads out and flattens out depends on something called the stability. And at nighttime, it gets very stable because of things cooling off near the ground. So what happens is, we talked about, especially a fire like the goat, where it's got a lot of heavies burning, they'll keep burning into the night. And in fact, last night we could see it most of the night on the satellite, so we know it was burning. And that smoke just can't ventilate. It can't get up higher in the atmosphere. It can't catch the winds and get out. So it kind of probably the closest analogy is kind of like water, but much slower. It just moves downhill, and it moves down in these valleys and gets trapped in there until the sun comes up and heats things up, and then everything gets mixed up, and it's able to get that smoke up higher where it catches some wind and it leaves the area. So that's a very common pattern, to have that thick smoke in the morning, especially if you've got something that keeps burning through the night. The smoke just can't escape. Weather-wise, after we get through today with these red flag conditions, unfortunately, we're just going to return to basically the same pattern we had before. We're going to have a ridge over, so we're going to be above average temperatures. We have some nice sunny days, so we've got that going. But it's going to be dry again, and it's just going to keep going. Right now, it looks like our best chance for some rain is going to be about the middle of the month, somewhere around the 12th. That's when our models are starting to show better chances. But even then, what I'm looking at right now, it doesn't look like it's a lot of rain. One of the things that we've got fire-wise going for us is the days keep getting shorter all the time.
Right.
And there's something we call a burn period. That's when the fire stands up and gets really active. And that's very closely connected with the length of the day. So that burn window is going to get shorter and shorter. So that kind of helps with the fire going out.
And I know I speak for the community, for Crouch and Garden Valley, when I say thank you for everything that you guys do. And the teams, all the teams that have been here, they've been marvelous. So protecting us. And I guess we'll see you again.
All right.
Thank you very much.
You're welcome.
Okay, you got it firsthand from the team number, the Great Basin number 6 team. So let's just get on. They're going to go back to work. We can't let them just sit here. So here's Slip Sliding Away by Paul Simon.